Well, before we jump into strategic partnerships, which I am definitely ready to do, I want to talk about advice for small business owners. If you could individually tell me what advice you could give to small business owners who are either watching this broadcast or who will read it in the magazine. How do they reach your level of success?
Well, perseverance. I don't think there's any single thing that stands out more than the ability to keep trying. You're going to fail, but failure is a pretty good teacher in terms of experience. So one of the biggest problems I see with small business is they do something very well as an individual, and maybe they work for somebody else and they decide they want to be in the business for themselves. And they don't understand the other elements of the financial side, of the planning side, of the infrastructure. And most businesses fail because of cash flow. And I've just encouraged, they end up buying themselves a job. And the financial situation generally does not get better in that case, and that's why we have such a high failure rate of small business. But I would encourage anyone, there are entrepreneurial think tanks and incubator systems in Charlotte, regional community colleges have these resources. Just do a lot of homework before you step out there, because you're gonna run into a lot of surprises.
Okay. And pick your partners very well. Every small business needs help. It's not a shortcoming to say you need help. Every business does. I have help as one of the owners of CC Communications from lots of sources. I have a very good, dedicated, and loyal staff, and that makes a lot of difference. I've got some of the very best business partners, Russ Husky and Loretta Cozart, my wife, and also strategic partners who are already entrepreneurs, already have the same kind of feeling about let's try to create something here from, in some cases, nothing, and learn how to grow. And the other thing is, those partners can also be mentors. Go after an extended network, and those partners can be associations, agencies like Small Business Council and all sorts of other organizations that are out there. And if you take advantage of what's there, you're not alone, and you're going to have a lot more guidance than you think. It's really, you don't have to go into the dark here. You can jump in with a lot of help if you pick your partners very.
Absolutely, and I just want to reiterate what Kip said in terms of staff. You do not want a lot of yes people on your staff. You want people to constantly challenge you as the owner and the leader, and you need to have people who are very interested and dedicated, understand the goal, and are pushing in the right direction. At Brightcast, we're very, very fortunate to have that type of talent. And the other thing is, in terms of relationships, if you have a partner and you say, well, we always agree on everything, we get along great, well, one of you is useless. Right. So, you don't want to go that way.
Without disagreement, there's no exploration of the ideas. And but yeah, finding the partners, and again, I use partners as a fairly loose term, but every employee, in my opinion, here has to also be an entrepreneur, or they wouldn't be here. There's a lot of other safer, less stressful, less demanding jobs than working for a small business, especially a small technology business.
Sure.
So the dedication of those people, from the staff to partners to even customers, become partners. That makes it work, because the entrepreneur or the business leader is not anything more than just a leader. Everyone else is helping to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, that's a great segue into the partnership. A few months ago, and it could be almost a year ago now.
About a year ago. You
all sat down and came up with a strategic partnership that will help both of your companies, with both in the short term and long term. Kind of fill me in from beginning to end. How did it start, and where do you see this partnership going?
You want me to bite that one first?
Sure.
Actually, where we are today is not where we set out to be. I think part of that may be a product of the technology and the industry, but one of the most important things is to be fluid. Mm-hmm. And the whole field that we play on, the rules keep changing. So I just think communications is most important in defining mutually beneficial goals and having the trust that, because we get a little intimate to not be in the same company.
Right.
And so trust is certainly a primary factor. But I'd let Kip carry on from there.
Well, a year ago, our company had real interest in broadening our service channel to include some of the new media technologies. Mm-hmm. And we had met with Wayne many times before as a potential customer. Mm-hmm. And we got acquainted in that way. And we just had this, as CC Communications, we just had this terrific opportunity to leapfrog right into the whole web video business, because we now were able to bring a strategic partner with a successful track record, with years of experience, to add to what we can offer our clients. And perhaps we can bring some of our technologies to help them as well. But the idea was that we could broaden our service channel overnight and do that with great expertise and great assurance that on day one, the product that we would deliver together would be one of the very best in the market. And that was an opportunity that CC Communications couldn't turn down in terms of an opportunity to grow. Mm-hmm. And it's been a very, very good and exciting year as we move things forward. Mm-hmm.
And as I said too, as far as the strength and weakness thing, our guys are really up to speed on the technology side of video and video delivery, but we are not in certain other elements that seem to be bundled together, so to speak. There's going to be a website that we help bring to life. Well, the intricacies of that website, is that website also an e-commerce site? Is it also producing, is it a resource to produce additional business in terms of placing orders online, etc.? And we were having some of those kind of questions. How will this marry with that? And we felt like it was very important, and CC Communications has a reputation of being probably the best in the Carolinas. And we wanted to team up with somebody that was a leader, and it helps us bring it to the table.
What we discovered in the last year is the best gets even better when you're fitting it all together. Web video by itself online can do amazing things, but if you put it in conjunction with a website that has interactivity and some custom programming and some search engine optimization, then suddenly everything's playing together in the right direction. Same is true for a website. So putting all of the technologies from our custom programming to web video to graphic design to everything that we do is better because not only the individual service line is better, but it's better because we're using them in tandem. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, what we've been able to deliver to our customers through this partnership.
So do you believe that small business owners have an opportunity to compete with larger organizations by creating strategic alliances or partnerships with companies so they can offer more products and services?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. And the other thing that technology is doing is it's bringing the small business owner without a Madison Avenue budget into being able to have that approach in that field and that communication, which is a great thing for small business.